it's something that I've been involved in for about 8 or 9 years now in total. I was originally the town planner that got all the approvals for the place, so that was my initial involvement. Part of that process there, I was involved through the construction phase and obviously the operational aspects of setting up, getting everything running. So construction-wise, we're about 3 years in the build. We're a bit over an hour out of Cairns. Cairns would be a difficult place to locate a track because of the weather mainly. It's very hot, it's even hotter than up here, and very wet. So I think it had to be up here, to be honest. And yeah, look, people are happy to do the trip out here and support it. We always encourage a lot of camping though as well, so rather than just sort of coming out for a few hours, we try and make a whole weekend of it, and I think, you know, given this location, I think you need to do that. Oh, it's got to be up there, I think. You know, we've got the scenery around here, the mountains, obviously. Yeah, I think it's a pretty awesome place. I personally haven't been to a better looking track, you know, with better sort of scenery than this. Yeah.
You've got a lot of mountains in the background. It's a really cool vibe to be here.
See this, you know, big open country with the rolling mountains and everything like that. It's like, oh wow, like it's God's country.
There's nothing like this in Australia. We've been all around Australia, and there's not a backdrop, there's not a facility like this, you know, so it's pretty cool.
We left here excited last year to come back again. It was just fantastic.
Oh, it's a beautiful place, beautiful outlook, brand new track in the middle of nowhere.
Take a look around, the place is beautiful.
But I think this year's just going to be awesome. I think we've ironed out all the bugs, so yeah, really looking forward to this one.
To come to somewhere in Australia that's going to turn out to be an iconic track in years to come is just fantastic.
Yeah, I think, you know, it gives us an opportunity to put something awesome on up here. I just don't think we'd see anything like this otherwise. You know, without GC support, we wouldn't have this quality racing up here. So, obviously, big thanks to Graham. I mean, there's nothing else really like it in the country. I don't think that for regional areas that we could actually afford to put on for that, you know, to that calibre.
The second time ever, the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Circus heads to the beautiful Springmount Raceway here in Cairns, and we've got 11 cars and one new one with this guy right here, Justin Walsh. Justin, really looking forward to this round, and tell us about this new hot rod you've got.
Mate, we're super glad to be back up here at Springmount Raceway. Beautiful piece of Australian turf, like it's just magic. The best backdrop in any track we've ever seen. New car, 69 Camaro. Look, it's a proven chassis. It's not the same chassis as the old car that I was in, Let's Boogie, so it's a new chassis, new body combo. We're hoping to hit 270 mile an hour with this body. That's the whole theory behind it, is see how fast we can get it to go. This place has got everything going for it. Picturesque, can't beat it. The actual layout of the track, everything, the venue, the staging lanes, the pits, they've really put some thought into it. Now they've run some good lighting down the track and they're really starting to step up.
What it is essentially equaling today is some wild runs and good side-by-side action, but man, these drivers are earning their keep.
Pretty quietly spoken dude is Justin Walsh, but hoping to make the results speak loudly on track. Terminator, a great new addition to the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Circus. Here, just not far out of Cairns in far North Queensland. Morris McMillan, the Kiwi. Cool shot, this. Crew cam.
Teams have quite a bit to do actually in the lead up to one of these runs. Make sure that roof flaps are down just there. Also take off the throttle stop, which is used during the burnout. Then send them on their way.
Just send it. Is it the last thing they generally say to them? Waiting for Terminator to come into line now. McMillan furthest from our camera.
Both cars putting out cylinders, and wow, McMillan, he took a huge step towards the centre line, and that was the difference. The win goes to the Terminator.
Like you said, it wasn't exactly a pretty run, but fairly even drag race, even considering that. I guess because they both had similar problems, it kept it pretty level, didn't it?
Because they're spinning the tyres the way they are, takes all the load off the engine, pours fuel into the cylinders, and that's why they're dropping cylinders like this today. You can see that fuel hosing And for McMillan, he's dropped at least 2 cylinders there at the left-hand side. You take away half of that thrust, and the car is going to move in that direction. So that's exactly what happened there. Good drive job just to straighten that thing back up.
There's so many factors at play in 6 seconds. That's what's crazy. The environmental factors, the handling of the car, the tuning of the engine, the grip on the actual racetrack. It's phenomenal what you have to get your head around in literally 6, hopefully 5 seconds.
In that confined space too. 3 points here, up for grabs. Both drivers already with a win to their name today. It's not just the track that's difficult today, Wade, the air as well. Round 1, we're in 5,000 foot of air. Now you want that number to be as close or even below 0 in ideal conditions, so not a lot of oxygen to burn up here.
Last minute adjustments. The Bumblebee shirts look cool, don't they? Chutes are packed. Wow, Donnelly in trouble, not the devil. Straight down the middle, a 594. So we're into the 5s for Olive. Donnelly, that thing just squared left.
Yeah, on that transition again, I think that was about 200 foot of racetrack where the surface changes. Donnelly's car took a hard step to the left. He's on the right-hand side here. A lot of handbrake work for the Red Devil.
That's all one-handed. Olive is driving that entire run one-handed.
And he goes through now to round 3 on the perfect 6 points. So he's in contention for first place today as we drop the body on Insanity.
Every time you line up alongside this guy, you have to bring your A game, don't you?
Laid back up here in this part of the world. Check out the website for more info. See if this show is going to visit your town. You do not want to miss it.
Harold gets the coolest music. I like that.
Well, he is the underdog in this one with a capital U and an underline in bold italics. Because
but he just loves
man,
it, doesn't he, though? He just loves it. You can't keep him away from it.
He's getting closer and closer to that breakthrough first round win. Got the short straw here in round 2. Nitro Express already on 3 points, and it's tuned by the man himself, Craig Cowan.
You're pretty well facing an uphill battle, aren't you? What can Rick do this time? Or will a little bit of insanity prevail here at Springmount?
Whoa, first car across the centre line for the day. That was
early
crazy. Yeah, before the 3:30 markers, and that is another comfortable flat 6 from Nitro Express. So edged into the 5s earlier. He's backed it up there. Full bank of points. Heading through to the final round. Looking the goods here once again.
Shane Olive will wander down to that pit area. Just remind him that he was outside the 5s. It veered hard right, didn't it? It's not very often you see a car cross the centre line that early. Really took a tree globe with him.
Refused to give up. Again, 7 times at least on the throttle. Wow, so huge pedal for Rick Gorsey. So they've still got a little bit of work to do to find that right tune-up for Nitro Express. The Nitro Cackle of LA Hooker, one of our famous cars racing in the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars. About to light it up here in Springmount Raceway, far North Queensland.
This is the battle we've been waiting for, isn't it? Messinio against Beggs. Messinio from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. Messinio looks like the guy that just knocked off your Harley, but he's actually a really kind of a cool cat, very proud granddad. In fact, he always has his grandkids on the dash of the Dark Horse. Appearances can sometimes be deceiving, can't they?
Never judge a book.
Oh, who am I kidding? He isn't, though. But it's good fun. And Beggs will run him hard. This is a great grudge match. Fantastic crowd. They're starting to fill in here now. Crystal skies. And hopefully a 5 here. Beggs is good.
Good race. Good drag race. A big half-track pedal for Dark Horse cost him the win, and Begley and LA Hooker will go to round number 3 on the full allotment of 6 points. But that was a cracker.
Gotta admit, I thought that Messinio had him at one point there, I think early on. But as you're right, the car got unsettled. Here's where he had him. Although Beggs will say, no, had him covered the whole time.
Well, topic of the day, tyre shake. Snuck into the rear tyres of the Dark Horse from the crowd's point of view. Man, he gathered it up quickly. And big time speed through the finish line. Moving on through on 6 points. That's exactly what you want to do.
You talk about rivalries too, Chad. You talk about the rivalries between different drivers. You'd have to think there's a little bit of sting if the Donnelly boys line up alongside each other too. This kid continues to get better and better. Came in, I think, at the Motorplex, didn't he, debut in this series? And he's never looked back.
Meanwhile, down in the deep end, Missinio and Begley debrief. This is from an era of drag racing that I think is just so cool. You know, the early 90s. What a weapon it is. Great to have this young driver behind the wheel. Used to be the old Melanie Troxel In-N-Out burger car.
Yep.
Big fan of your old school NHRA.
I think it's still got the entrance sticker on the car there somewhere as well. I think they kept that just for that little bit of authenticity. A couple of real young guns of the series right here.
Just working on that idle, making sure that the air and fuel mixture is perfect. Once it's there, it's time to move into stage.
Lay is probably the most consistent. This is a new package for the Donnelly, so Dan could pull up a big upset here, but Bandit may well be odds on. Waiting for them to just edge to the line. Good night.
Gee, that's a huge reaction time advantage. Oh, but he'll chase him down from half track onwards. What happened there for the Bandit? The show was over before half track. He had such a huge advantage.
Wow. You just never know, do you? Jeez, Lay had that shot to bits.
Wow, just went hard left and got out of the throttle. That was enough to send 3 points over to the Avenger.
Good drive job to keep it off the concrete, but Donnelly avenges himself and takes a nice 6:45. Love the way the kids show up. This is where it gets cool, Chad. When day goes into night and we start getting some header flames, going to be very cool. The Stormtrooper, Greg Lay, has been solid so far. I wonder how the nighttime conditions will be different to the guys hooking up earlier in the day. That's handy. That's handy.
That thing looked mean across the finish line. Nearly 350 k's per hour. And good to see. They actually had some parachute issues in their solo run in round number 2. They fixed that up nicely. A cool view from up above down at the end of the track. That's a nice run from the Stormtrooper. A good way to finish his event.
Yeah, absolutely. So the sparks coming out from the undercarriage then when it left the line. That's just cool when you got flames either side, isn't it? That's what you want. The whole way down, you just want to see those gnarly flames. Fans of all ages love this stuff. Morris McMillan, he really needs to get a win here. Up against Insanity, could go either way.
Well, two drivers that are pretty hungry for some points tonight. One bad Kiwi's had that issue with dropping cylinders, had a couple of holes go out on the left-hand side of that motor last time round. And for Insanity, well, it's just been that. It's been insane. That last run across the centre line. Hopefully a cleaner pass coming here for the popular Queenslander.
Got a bit of JB Automotive sticking down the side of the car there. There's a fairly legendary engine operator in Queensland side of things. What can McMillan do here? Really needs to bang 3 points home. That's a cool shot, isn't it? Oh, no!
Well, hang on, this isn't over yet.
Wow!
And Insanity will crawl there and gets the win with an 8:47. It's one of the slower times to ever win a race. It was an awesome drag race, and he gets his first round win. Congratulations. Insanity bags himself 3 points for the first time. Oh, that is wild stuff.
Anything can and will happen in this series. That's what I love about it. What a great moment for the Insanity team. They will be loving that. Man, it was brutal, wasn't it?
That was a cool drag race. Let's just watch this one more time. Well, the excitement in this final round building up, getting closer to the drivers who are on 6 points. I like it.
This could go either way too. This is a really interesting matchup right here. I don't think we've seen the best of Donnelly just yet. And Lay, well, we thought he had the last one shot to bits, and that didn't work out. So this too is anybody's guess. Love that crackle.
Big flame from the Bandit and huge speed across the finish line. 384. Whoa, but only one shoot, if that half a shoot maybe. And on the brake hard into the sand. It stays on all fours, thankfully. But the chutes, it got tangled, or maybe the bolt came out and went through one of them. I'm not sure, but thankfully he's okay.
Man, I was worried that thing was going to get sideways in the trap and would have gone over.
Yeah, he did a really good job at keeping his cool. Now, the parachutes don't hit all that hard up here anyway because the air is so thin. And this was doing big speed, so let's first ride on board with the Bandit. Big pedal, bit of clutch dust in the car. Hooked up nicely at the finish line. It's that eerie silence until you start getting the chatter of those rear wheels, and he was into that gravel trap in a heartbeat.
Oh, this is the angle. Gee, look how close Bumblebee got to the wall as well.
That's it, it lost a chute. And I think when one chute's come off, it's actually disturbed the other one as well. So just not collecting any air. And he kept his calm.
Yeah.
But gee, that was a scary, scary moment for the Bandit. And when you hit the gravel that hard, you can damage the body, but hopefully it's okay.
Wow, that had to be a scary moment.
Yeah, it was a hairy handful moment. I mean, it was hauling, and I could feel it. Pulled the chutes, on the line. Unfortunately, one didn't pop, and we've ended up in the sand trap. But you can see the skid marks there. Like, I was trying to pull it up as much as I could, but it just didn't happen.
We could see the brake rotors were bright as coming in here as well.
Yeah, I was on that brake, trust me. So coming in at speed, it's a little bit daunting, but this is what happens. So anyway, it's racing, and we've had fun today, despite this. So thanks.
Finishing this night off in style, and we are competing for trophies. The final round, Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars coming to you from Springmount Raceway.
Just gotta love the way the Terminator just rolls out of the shadows into the light. Avenger, after an upset win, it should be said, in the second round.
Now, a bit of a delay here since we had a car in the sand trap, and the air is changing all the while, and it actually looks like it's starting to really form up on these windscreens. Quite a lot of condensation out there. Typical Queensland night. So just in case you wanted to make things a bit more difficult, take a bit of visibility away.
It's just crazy. They have so many things they've got to think about. The crew desperately trying to hook these cars up. That's been the most telling factor, is who can glue the car to the middle the best. Donnelly from the rear in that right-hand lane. Nothing in it. Oh, man! That was ugly. How about the tyre shake for Terminator?
Man.
I know Avenger got the wall, but man, that thing was bunny hopping.
Pack of Panadol kind of race, that one. Both guys going for a wild ride. The Avenger definitely got the fence. And the Terminator had its own troubles out there in the left-hand lane as well.
Jeez, that was just epic, wasn't it?
Now then, 2 drivers on 6 points. The event winner could come from this drag race. Two of the most experienced guys too. The experienced runners are really rising up.
And it's a random draw too. It's not like seeded or anything like that, the way that they match up. It's all done at the start of the day. They literally draw numbers. So you can come up against someone twice or not race them for many rounds. Oh, Beggs is gone. Should rack this one up. Oh!
Wow, whole shot win, first of the night. So gets the job done with the better reaction time. That is a monster run. What a great drag race.
So to fans that are new to this kind of sport, Chad, the car that finished isn't necessarily the winner, right?
You're always first to the finish line in a drag race is going to get the win. Look at those brakes lighting up in the opposite lane, but because he left the finish line first, his slower ET didn't matter. Got to the finish line there anyway. That was a killer drag race.
All I can say is I hope.
So, with a time of 6.48, you won that race.
Mint, 6.48.
That's what I've been told.
You get it.
Mate, 6.48. Geez, I hope the Chevs go slower than that, but I can't see it.
Yeah, they must have been close. They would have had to be close.
Of course, it's you two, stooges.
Yeah. I think I've got him.
Pair of West Aussies in commentary, that word mint. It's just straight out of Sorrento, isn't it? I think we're the only people in the country that understand that word. It's a nightclub, it's a flavour of chewy, and it describes emotion in WA.
When something's very cool. Now, this is cool. The last race tonight. The scenario, simple. Whoever wins this race needs to go quicker than 6:48 to win the event.
How fitting it's these two. This is going to be a great battle to round out the night.
I hope you got your fingers crossed for me.
Yeah.
Hey?
The Heckle and Jekyll of Nitro Funny Car racing, those two.
Wow, they've brought their A game. Olive lifts off first, and the Nitro Express gets there with the quickest ET of the night. Never mind a 6:48, he has smoked it. And that is Graham Cowan tune-up right there. That is incredible. He's seen these conditions before. He's been around. He's raced in America. Incredible.
Geez, Shano.
Oh, it's too early. Hey? He got me, eh? Yeah.
He held it.
Nothing get any better than this, Chad. Side by side, all the way down.
Well, drag races are usually won by who's first to stand on the gas. I think this one was won by who was the last off the gas. There you go, the lights go out for the Red Devil. Gorsey holds his nerve, takes the win, and gets the event too.
We're ecstatic about how this all ended up tonight. Track's magnificent now. They've cooled down a bit. The numbers are there. The crowd's there. You couldn't ask for anything better. Thanks to everyone.
Yeah, well said, Rick. Shane, still with that pedal, you're saying? A good result and good result for the fans, you two running a nice stout run like that.
Yeah, it was. That was my mistake. I messed up on that run. I got over towards the wall and I seen the white light there and I thought I was on it. Got off it and the white light was still there. I'm like, the finish line ain't there yet. But anyway, hey, Rick deserved it. What a show we've put on, you know, all these cars. It's just been a great meeting.
That wraps up another big night, another huge event. Remember to check out the website and see if the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars are coming to your town. And remember, you can always watch now, free on the live stream. We hope you've enjoyed the action from Springmount Raceway. We hope to be seeing you again real soon.
That's it for this week's show. Next Sunday from 1 p.m, catch all the action from round 1 of the My Bike Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul from the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. We hope you can join us then.